Hey everyone, it's your girl Jossie, aka J Renee, back at it again with another video. So today we're gonna be making some hot girl shorts for the summer, for some post-quarantine looks. I'm gonna show you 3 types of easy shorts that you can make for the summer. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so you don't miss a video. Comment down below what other summer clothes that you guys want to see, and I'll be sure to do that for you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So this first one, we're going to start off with an old shirt and some old shorts that we have cut up. We are going to trace out the shorts that we have. These shorts were really small, so I traced out like an inch or two more than what they actually were. We're going to cut them out just like this and turn them right side to right side. So we're going to turn them over, flip them over on both sides, and the curved part we are going to pin down and sew that together with a zigzag stitch. Looking like that. Now we're going to open them up and put right side to right side again, put those together and pin the outsides and the crotch seam. We're going to sew that together with the zigzag stitch. And cut off the excess. Now we're gonna get some elastic and fold over this top edge to make sure the elastic fits. So we're gonna make a tunnel for the elastic to go through so the shorts will sit on your waist nicely. We're just gonna measure around. My elastic was about 3/4 of an inch, so we're gonna measure a little more than that all the way around the top of the pant and mark a gap to where we want to stop sewing so we can fish that elastic through. We're going to take it to the sewing machine and fold over the edge. I wanted a cleaner edge, so we're just going to fold over the edge just a little bit, but still to keep space enough for the elastic when we fish it through. So we're keeping that gap there. And now we're going to take our elastic, measure yourself around your waist. Use that measurement for the elastic. Cut out the elastic. Use a safety pin and fish the elastic through the tunnel. Just like so. And pull it all the way through, making sure that the other side doesn't go through. And now we're going to use a zigzag stitch to sew that down. I'm sorry for the lighting here, but you're just going to use a zigzag stitch and sew that down twice is what I did to keep the security. Now we're going to close up that gap that we made with the same zigzag stitch, and we're pretty much done with these. You can keep it like this. These are perfectly fine shorts, but I think we're going to take this a bit further and we're going to cut off this hem that we have here. Take the sleeves from the shirt that we initially started with and cut about 3 inches away from the initial shoulder seam line. So cut off that sleeve about 3 inches away from the original shoulder seam. Take the sleeves off and open it up. And then we're going to fold it in half twice because we're going to use these 4 strips. We're going to cut off the excess and make sure they're all the same length and the same width. Then cut off the sides so we have 4 pieces. And do that with the other sleeve, and now we have 8 pieces. So for the first 4, we're going to take the ends of these 4 pieces on the same side, make sure the sides match up, pin them together, and then sew them together where we pinned and top stitch them as well. Do that to both of them. So when you've done that, you should end up with something that looks like this. And so they're all top stitched down all together. Now we're going to fold them in half and fold them again and line them up to make sure they all are the same width. Then cut them on the sides so that they can all be the same width. At this point now, all we have to do is hem them on the bottom, and just as simple as that. Just roll it over and the hem should look just like this. Match up those other two ends together to make a long circle. Now we have two long pieces of fabric that are sewn in a circle. There were 4 seams that we did to make this long piece, so now we're gonna match up the side seams of the shorts and the top and bottom seams, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna match up all those seams, 4 seams, to make like a little mini loop, and then here we're gonna make hand ruffles. So we're just gonna like pleat them almost back and forth. We just lay them down. I don't really know how to explain it, but hopefully you can watch and see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna speed that up because we have to do that to both sides of the shorts, both short legs. An alternative to this would be basting a stitch all the way down the fabric and then pulling the ends so they would be ruffled almost. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. I don't really know how to explain anything. So then we're gonna take this to the sewing machine and sew all the way around like so. And that's how it should look. And so we're also going to top stitch this. Even though it's on the bottom side, I'm gonna still call it a top stitch. It's the same thing, it's just supposed to be on the top. Whatever, it doesn't matter, it all turns out the same way. So that's how they should look. And cut off those pesky threads and try them on. Let's go. And these were so cute. These would be a lot cuter in a different color, a brighter color, especially for summertime. And you can make these as long or as short as you want, but these were really cute. So let's move on to the next one. For this one, I'm using a different pair of shorts, and this fabric that I just had, it's like a mesh type of fabric. It reminds me of like basketball shorts, like that type of fabric. And so I'm taking another pair of shorts, and instead of marking where I'm gonna cut out, I'm just gonna cut it out freehand. These are supposed to be like really easy and simple, so I might go through this a little bit fast. So fold over the shorts and cut them out for the front side and the back side. You can tell the difference because the back side will have a longer, deeper curve for the crotch than the front will. And so just like before, we're gonna pin the crotch together and sew those down with a straight stitch on both of them. And that's what you should have. So we're gonna turn them over right side to right side and pin the sides just like before. Nothing really new. This is just a different way to show you how to make some really easy shorts. But I did love this mesh fabric, so I wanted to include this. So pin them all down on the sides and the crotch. And while you're at it, since I didn't record to make the hem, we're just gonna fold up the bottom part of the short legs and make that hem as well. I didn't record that for some reason, but you know the deal. Bring it to the sewing machine. I'm using a straight stitch this time, using my presser foot as a guide. With the crotch, you pivot at the middle seam and then keep on sewing. For this one, we are going to use shoelaces as like a tie string and fold down the top edge of your shorts just like we did in the first one, but this one is going to be a little smaller since we're not using thick elastic and we're just using some shoelaces. Feed through your laces all the way around, leaving a gap like we did before. Since my gap was nowhere near the front of the shorts, I had to take the shoelaces all the way around again and cut 2 slits in the front of the shorts where the strings would tie in the front. So what I did, I just had to go back all the way around and cut 2 holes at the front of the shorts so my ties could come through, just like you see here. Like I said, I didn't show hemming the bottom of the pants, but other than that, we are done here. See how easy that was? I paired these with some neon shorts because you can pair, like, you can put this over like your bikini or anything like that. They're just like cool, fun shorts, like see-through, perfect for the summer. So let's move on to our last one. Here, we're gonna take some shorts that we used in the first one, and we're gonna make a pattern this time. So get out your like big paper or use a bunch of little pieces of paper and tape them all together, or some newspaper, and just outline your shorts. If you have shorts that fit you and you want to recreate those, do that. These shorts here were really small, so I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric for the look I was going for. I'm just marking the outline of the shorts, and making patterns for stuff like this is like the best. You can use them for anything and for any fabric that you get. So I do 100% recommend making your own patterns from clothes that you already have. And so do that to both sides, and even add in a seam allowance if you need to. Label both your front panels and your back panels, that's important, and cut them out. Now that they're all cut out, you want to make sure that they match up the top part and the bottom part. If the bottom part doesn't match up, like mine didn't here, just cut off the excess, and we will need these to match for them to work. Making sure that the back panel has a steeper, longer curve than the front one does. Now we're going to take our fabric. This fabric is not stretchy at all, so I'm not using like knit fabric here. I know what I want this to look like, so that's why I'm not using anything really stretchy, because I know these shorts are going to be a little loose, so that's what I'm going for. So just pin down your pattern and cut it out like so, right along the edge of the pattern pieces. Like, you don't have to add any seam allowance unless you didn't add it for the pattern. So you might need to add seam allowance if you just made your pattern right from the shorts. But I didn't here. I knew that the shorts might be big anyway because this is just a rough sketch. So take off your pattern pieces, and this time you can either do it the same way as we did before, but here I'm taking both a front panel and a back panel and pinning them together on the sides first and then matching them up later. So we're going to do that to both sides. Take a front and a back panel, put right side to right side, and pin them together. Go sew that down with, I used a serger type of stitch. Since I don't have a serger, I wanted the edges to look clean. And so here we're gonna put together the back panels, that curve, making sure that the right side there to right side, pin together that curve on the back panels first. And then opening them up for the front panels this time. So you can sew them either way, like I did the first two or this last one, it doesn't matter. So then sew those together just like we've done all of the rest of them. My stitch here is kind of like a, I don't know what to call it, but I need a serger, that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna get one soon, putting that into the air. Here, this last part, we are just putting together the crotch seam just like we have done before. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. These are all pretty much the same, but just different ways to do it. After sewing them together and I tried them on, I realized that they were like totally too big, and so I had to take in like 2-3 inches on the sides just to make them fit a little better. And I knew that was gonna happen because I don't really know how to measure. I never know what I'm really doing. I just go with the flow. So I pinned the sides together to make sure that they didn't run away from me, and re-sewed down the sides again. Here I'm measuring the waist part, which is about 16 inches. So I'm gonna cut out like a 3-inch by like 16-inch rectangle. I'm gonna cut out 2 of them to make this waistband. So here I'm just gonna fold it in half to make sure I have 2 of the same size for the waistband and cut it out. These 2 pieces I am now going to sew together, just like so. And now, I don't know what I'm doing here. It turned out the waistband was a little too big, so I had to cut some off because my measurements aren't always right. Now we have to sew that back together again. I know it's a lot of back and forth, but now fold the waistband in half to make like a rounded edge at the top, and place that over top of the shorts and match up the side seams and pin that down. So the waistband and the shorts should be the same length, so you don't have to gather or make any darts or anything. So just pin that down like so. Make sure you have all 3 layers, the waistband 2 layers, and then the layer for the shorts. And pin that all the way around. And take it to the sewing machine and sew away. I'm using the same stitch as I have been this whole time for these pair of shorts, as you can see on my sewing machine. I'm going to cut off all that excess fraying and then do another top stitch with a straight stitch. Now we are almost finished. Oh my gosh. So we're going to hem the bottom of the shorts so there's no fraying. We're going to do a double rolled hem. So roll up the bottom of the shorts twice, about 1/4 inch, and then pin that all the way around. Pin it around before you sew it. Sometimes I get lazy, but this time you want to pin it all the way around before you sew it. It just takes a lot less time when you are sewing. And now you can stop there if the shorts fit, but I wanted to be extra and make a little belt thing that doesn't really go all the way around. So you'll see I'm measuring, like, just measure a long rectangle shape with one end being wider than the other end. Here I had to add another piece because I was running out of fabric and I didn't know what I was doing. Surprisingly, this video came together somehow. But yeah, as you can see, I'm adding in another piece that is significantly larger and then sewing that together and cutting off where they meet so they can be the same width where they meet, if that makes sense. I should stop talking now because I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, now this is the really tricky part. Well, it was tricky for me. It took me a long time. We're gonna fold the edge over and then fold it in half. So we're gonna start at the thicker end first. We wanna fold the edge down. Let's get closer so we can see. Thank you. We're going to fold the edges down and then fold it over. So then when we sew this down, it'll be like a clean stitch. It'll be nice and pretty and cute. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And this is how it should look when you have finished pinning. So starting at the thicker edge, we're gonna sew along the top and then sew all the way down where we pinned, right at the edge, making sure that all the ends are tucked in where they need to be tucked in. So do that to both of them, both of the long strips that we cut, and match up the ends to the side seams of the shorts, and then sew a square shape along the ties. We're gonna call them ties. Sew a square shape. At the end of the ties, I did make like a triangular shape. But this is how they came out. These were really cute, and the cool thing about these is that you can wear them with the tie in the front or in the back, just like these. These are like really cute if you want to be more dressy in the summer. And another way is that we can always cut your jeans or cut your sweatpants or cut any other long pants and make them shorts, or totally make shorts from scratch like I did here. These were really cute. Or use another shirt and make a matching set. So if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.